things I want you to take away from today's lesson. One, setup wise, I want your right foot perpendicular to the target line. I want your left foot turned down at 40 degrees. I want your right foot 1 inch behind your left. That's setup, so you have a slightly closed stance, which by the way you're doing here. Now in the takeaway, I don't want the club head to get underneath and behind your hands. Club head's getting a little inside. I want the club head to stay in the cone. That requires the shaft to be pointed more at the middle of your chest. So at the first parallel, the club head should be, the shaft should be pointing in. Now this backswing, that's a better backswing. I like where you're putting the club at the top. It could be a little bit lower. So I want your hands to try to get a little bit lower at the top. Coming down, your club head staying in the plane there. So that was pretty good. Now you hit this one a little bit thin. Didn't get it up in the air, but overall that's a pretty good, that's a much better swing than what you started with. And that triangular box that I put on your pelvis, I draw it from your hips to the toes. See, your hip comes forward. There's a little gap right here. That's because you're not getting your weight, your right hip. You want to feel that weight into your right heel a little more on the backswing. But overall, this is a much better swing. So strengthen the left hand grip so you can see the two knuckles. Work on your takeaway. Now do the motion training. So when you get up to the top at home, you're working on, hands are going to be just below your right shoulder. See where my hands are? They're just below the right shoulder. Then we're going to make that little, or to make that bump, the hips toward the target, the right shoulder drops.
And the left shoulder goes up.
Yeah, the left shoulder goes up, the left hip goes up, and the hands drop. That's what I want you to practice. You want to work on dropping your hands straight down by shifting your hips toward the target, dropping that right shoulder. That'll help you change the track that the hands take to the ball.